Rick and Derek, Tony here. Wanted to go over the list of the punch list for Third Street just to make sure there's no questions. So here, what you're looking at is my pictures, which you have access to the punch list, and I just want to give you the description. So if you notice here, the color of the grout is a gray, and we need to cover this section here so it doesn't look like there's gaps. And what I do to find out the color, just grab the dry grout and put it on and make sure it matches, and then put it on. Usually it doesn't change color, so that would be a good way to do it. Um, the upstairs bedroom, I don't know, we already put carpet, so I don't know how that transitions. So we need to make sure that we have the in the transitions to the bedrooms that the we have the a wood piece, so it looks good. I saw some of them needed to make sure we had the wood transitions in there for all the bedrooms in all those areas. This is the fireplace mantle. This just needs to be finished better. The quality there's bad. Obviously, you guys, I'm sure you saw that. Bathrooms obviously need to be cleaned up, which they already been. So just a little bit more detail. The chimney, we need to make sure that we are cleaning the brick and that we put a little bit of color, like a light gloss that needs to be scraped and cleaned. Obviously, that's already been cleaned. That needs to be painted black, as we discussed. It's okay to leave it gold. Here is, I was telling you, Rick, the we need to cover this up in a way that there's no rodents that come in and out, and of course, fix all the bricks coming in and out of the house. The garage door, obviously, that being broken, you can see light, so we need to make sure that the panels here for the garage door are well placed and that they look good from on the back and the front. Little finishes like this throughout, just needs to be cleaned out. This is the gutter, Rick. I was telling you on the back side of the house towards the neighbors is missing the spout coming down. And this is all loose and it's actually falling down. So we need to make sure we clean that up. Um, Obviously, here we had to do a notch, but we need to paint that white so it doesn't stand out, and we need to clean up this section a little bit. Obviously, finish the closet doors. We need to metal brush the rocks so they are painted. If you recommend we do a gloss finish like the brick, that's fine. Let me know. Connect the garage doors. Make sure they're both are working. Let me know if you have any questions there. This is in the pantry that needs to be painted. The other thing I was going to suggest is that we paint the floor um, on the laundry on both, maybe a gray or something. See if we can get away with it. So paint the laminate. Uh, Let me know if that would work, or we can do like a tile we can pre-buy and set it. Let me know on that. The bottom of the door here, we need to put some type of base here. I know you can buy one and connect it, so that's a lot of gap and a lot of air that's going to be coming in, especially with the old window. So that needs to be fixed. Um, that's a spout. The piece of gutter that we're missing needs to come down all the way to the floor. That's the light here that is coming through, so that needs to be cleaned up and all the wires. Fireplace, we need to scrape that and clean it up, and like then maybe do a high gloss and then clean this out and paint it black inside. A lot of little things like this, doors and that are oversprayed and chips, so that would be for your painters. Obviously, caps and clean this up. I know you're going to power wash the entire house. Make sure that that's done and covered. That's in the garage. There's no door handle. We need to put a door handle in the garage. This is in the master bedroom. We need to cap it or hide it, whichever way is going to be the best way to do it. Just paint all over the place, so just a little quality control. We need to remove all these pieces from and around the garage, so this mat is not there. Countertop, just a little bit of grout or caulking, whichever's easier there. We never did finish this lamp, so it needs to be finished and completed. Just get rid of all and everything in the garage so it's 100% clean. This light, which is in one of the bathrooms, is loose and there's some paint catch up that needs to be done. We talk about painting this, leaving it natural. You mentioned that you're going to send me a color sample. Make sure I send it before we stain them so we don't have to go back and scrape. This is the pipe inside of the master bedroom that needs to be cleaned up. Again, more wiring in the garage that needs to be cleaned up and capped. Paint, um, just paint catch up. Go ahead and install this right underneath the light, clean it up, and then let me know where the key is for the. We need to obviously clean it up and just paint and splatters that got on there. So I'm thinking about painting this or doing laminate tiles that can be glued on from Home Depot. So let me know what you think it's easier. We need to do a finish smooth stucco for this one of the columns. We need to put the door, the knobs here, two black knobs, drips and stuff like that throughout. This light, if you touch it, is loose. This is on the backside towards the neighbors. Um, Again, just cleaning up the paint to make sure it looks nice and clean. We talked about that. This is the garage door, and that wood needs to be changed, and that metal needs to be cleaned up. So I know we talked about power washing all the spider webs and all that fun stuff as well. Getting rid of that, it is live and connected. So I don't know if we take it out or we leave it. It just doesn't look right. Make sure this is cleaned out and secured, which I think Faust already did. Basic cleanup here. Um, I need to get the cloth for the cloth for uh for ironing board. Okay. Um, just again, more gaps. This is the fridge. That's the gap. It just needs to be cleaned up. Paint, open the manhole for the not the manhole, the attic cover. Paint there as well. Against that, just a big gap needs to be cleaned out. That's by the sitting area in the dining room. This is the back of the garage. Excuse me. While it's up, there's a big gap, so we need to cover this. And if you say we can't cover it in the back, in the front, then we'll cover it through the back. We need to do a blower to the roof and clean the gutters. Obviously, finish all this. Um, Hanging wires. I talked to Madeira. There is in the living room some uh, termite damage there. So that's pretty much it. It's a good punch list. It's a lot of little items. Rick and Derek, you guys are very detailed people, and I know you guys have a lot of pride in your work. But I know you guys also shorthanded and very busy. So let's just get us out of there. I cancel my open house so you guys can have the time to finish. It's costing me an enormous amount of money, and I need to make sure that you guys get everything done. If there's any questions, let me know. Um, I will have somebody pick up the stove. The Anthony's going to be there to do the coat around any connection between the flooring and carpet that doesn't look right. We need to put wood there. Very, very, very important. I also need to know what items you're not going to do. That's very important. And then I also need to make sure that we got gas and everything final. And the termite, and then obviously clean up after yourselves. Please, if there's any questions, let me know. Very, very important. Thank you guys. Appreciate all the hard work.